Hi, friends. I recorded this actually before season 13 of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills premiered, and also well before season 8 of The Real Housewives of Potomac. Welcome back, friends. Today is a really somber day for me. I am dressed for a funeral in my Phaedra Parks Mortuary School for Girls finest. I have my Candace Dillard Bassett sponsored triangle. And I'm in mourning because I am no longer interested in watching The Housewives. My family and I request privacy during this time. I want to talk about the downfall of the Real Housewives as a franchise. I think there are multiple factors at play here. Some say it's the housewives themselves. Some people are blaming the production company. I think there's a third group that holds a little more blame than I think we would like to admit. And I'm going to say this, but y'all better not jump me. I think the fandom has way more to do with the downfall than we realize. That includes me and you. So we need to have an honest conversation about ourselves. Let's get into it. So until the last year or so, I was largely invested in the Real Housewives. Atlanta and Potomac have been my favorites. Beverly Hills, I love. I loved the old Real Housewives of New York. I really enjoyed New Jersey for a while. Watched every season of the OC, I think up until that one COVID season that they had. But as I grow older, my TV interests change a little bit, and the Real Housewives have been on the outs in terms of entertainment value for me personally. But I also know a lot of other people who feel the same way. They just don't feel like they're getting the same level of entertainment they once got. And I have a couple of theories as to why that might be. I want to start going live with you guys to talk about our shows after they air. And I want to do that on TikTok. If you're watching this and you haven't followed me on TikTok, please go and do that right now. I will give you a few seconds to do it. Okay, great. Theory number one, obviously the housewives, right? Now, that's low hanging fruit, but I do think they bear a lot of responsibility in terms of providing entertainment value to us. But some of them just do too much. Audiences are not connecting when they know that you're coming on as a new housewife and you're trying to be the next Nene or the next Lisa Rinna or the next Kyle. The new girls try way too hard, and some of the OGs do as well, or their storylines have just become stale. For me, I can always tell when a season is about to air because the girls get to fighting on social media. New stories begin to drop, new revelations, cheating, rumors, all of this stuff. It all starts to come out right when their new season is about to air. And that starts to feel less like a coincidence and more like properly placed PR, which I get it. You need to drum up excitement. But again, it takes the authenticity away, which I think is something that's very much missing. And, here's the thing. It's reality TV, so we know it's not 100% real. But I think there still should be a layer of realness within the cast and within these shows. Another reason why I think the housewives are to blame is because so many of them have become hyper aware. They are aware of how people are going to perceive them on social media. They're aware of how they may be edited for the season. And so that makes them really tone down a lot of the characteristics within their personalities that we have grown to love them for, because they don't want to upset the people on social media and they don't want to upset producers because they might get a bad edit. And so you can tell that a lot of these women have just become shells of themselves. But I do think the other side of that is, just as I'm getting older, they are getting older too. And so maybe they are in a space in their life where they don't want everybody to know every little detail. But to that I say, you have to get off of reality television. What the Real Housewives has become known for is digging into the personal lives of these women. If you're at a point in your life where you no longer want that, you have to be willing to say goodbye to the TV show. Look, I don't have a magic formula, so I don't know what will make some of these housewives more entertaining. But I personally think we are just past the era of iconic housewives. I don't know that we'll have a new crop of icons, because everything that we've seen has been women coming in and trying too hard to be just like housewives of the past. Second theory I have, production. Now, it's also very easy to blame production, but the reason the production theory is debunked very quickly is because a lot of the cities use different production companies. But I see why it's easy to blame producers. Like I always say, producers are the brains behind some of the best reality TV moments. However, producers also have to work with what they are given. And so if they're not given good content, then they have to make stories out of whatever they have. So it makes me wonder if producers are fully to blame for lackluster seasons because maybe they were just given lackluster content to begin with. But because of that, I don't know if we can fully blame production. These cities use different production companies, and each company can't be making the same mistake, right? My third theory, I think the fandom has a lot more to do with the downfall than we had admitted. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, housewives do and say things because they're anticipating the reaction of the fans. If they say the wrong thing, they know that the fandom will mob against them, they will dox them, they will make their lives living hell, they'll go after their family and friends. They know that, and so they're really careful and precious with the things that they say and the things that they share. And I think that's really unfortunate, y'all. I think that fandoms and stand-up, it's become so unhinged to the point where someone on TV that you dislike as a person, they say the wrong thing, and now you want to go talk shit to their children, their spouses, their parents. Like, it's come to a point where honestly, if I was a housewife, I would be careful about the things that I say and share as well, because that's ridiculous. And the fandom also will choose one or two housewives from each city and decide that they all hate them, and they'll just make that person's season a complete living hell. The harassment of these people has gone to vicious degrees, and I think that has a lot to do with why they overly edit themselves before the edits even happen. But overall, we as a fandom, we really have to do better. So yes, when it comes to the downfall of the Real Housewives, those are my three theories. Drop down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for being here. Bye. Talk.